Welcome to the 2015 IRONMAN 70.3 Geelong Athlete Race Briefing. Further to this race briefing, athletes are required to read the Athlete Information Guide, which contains additional information to ensure you have a great day. This is available online to view and print at www.ironmangeelong.com. If you have any further questions following the race briefing, please see the team located at the information desk at Eastern Beach. Please make sure you've taken the time to check your athlete race kit for all the items you'll need this weekend. This includes your swim cap, number tattoos, helmet sticker, bike seat post sticker, bike pump sticker, race bib, and most importantly, your athlete wristband. Your athlete wristband is your form of ID which you'll need to wear across the whole event. It will provide you access into athlete-only areas. Ironman Asia Pacific is planning to use a barcoding system at bike check-in and bike checkout. The main aim of this system is to maximise security in and around transition. Each athlete has a personalised barcode on their wristband and bike sticker. Your wristband and bike sticker are linked with one another. When entering or exiting transition with a bike, your barcoded wristband and bike sticker will be scanned by event personnel. When the two barcodes match, you'll be able to proceed into or out of transition. If there's not a match, you'll be directed to the transition manager, who'll address any potential issue. Each athlete's personal wristband is linked to their own bike sticker via their race number. As per normal, you can only rack or remove your own bike. If you attempt to rack or remove another athlete's bike or have someone else rack or remove your bike, that person will be denied entry to or exit from transition. Please do not remove your wristband until you've removed your bike from transition post-race. If for any reason you do not have your wristband, an identical barcode can be found on your bib. We do not envisage bike check-in or bike check-out taking longer than usual. However, Ironman would ask for your patience at this time. Bike and gear bag check-in is on Saturday between 10 a.m. and 4:30 p.m. This will take place at Transition at Eastern Beach. If you require bike mechanic services, they'll be located at both Steam Packet Gardens and the entry to Transition. Make sure you've attached your bike sticker prior to arriving to Transition, where you'll have your bike inspected by technical officials. The bike racks are individually numbered. Please ensure that you rack your bike at your assigned position. No bike bags or covers are allowed on your bikes overnight. These will be removed as they are a danger in high winds to neighbouring bikes. You'll be required to bring your helmet on both Saturday and Sunday in order to be able to enter transition and have it checked for compliance. Please note helmets are not to be left with bikes on Saturday night. Helmet check-in will take place on Sunday morning. To assist with a speedy process, please ensure you're wearing your helmet with helmet sticker for a quick visual check by the technical officials. Please make sure you're aware of the flow of transition. There'll be 3 transition tours held on Saturday, which will help with any questions you have. Transition tours will be held at 11:30 a.m, 1:30 p.m, and 3:30 p.m. Transition will be open from 5:45 a.m. to 6:45 a.m. At closure of transition, all team cyclists must exit the transition area. The team's transition will reopen at the discretion of the transition manager after the professional athletes have departed for the bike leg. Team cyclists will then wait with their bike. Once the team swimmer passes them the timing chip, they can take their bike off the rack and continue out of transition. As the team cyclist re-enters transition, they must rack their own bike individually before passing the timing chip to the team runner. Bike mechanics will be located at the bike exit, entry arch, and have resources for emergency bike services only. You will be able to bring in your bike pump on race morning, however you must take this with you when you exit. Pumps will be stored separately to bags in the street gear tent, so please ensure they are adequately labelled with the bike pump sticker provided. Your gear bag will need to be handed into the street gear tent located near transition at Eastern Beach. The gear tent will be open at 5:45 a.m. Please ensure your bag is labelled with the numbered gear bag sticker found in your race kit. Transition closes at 6:45 a.m. and wave starts will commence from 7 a.m. The swim course involves a 1.9 kilometre one-lap swim in the sheltered calm waters of Corio Bay. Athletes will swim out 850 metres before heading back towards the eastern turning buoy. Upon reaching the eastern turning buoy, athletes will swim 300 metres back towards the swim start before kicking left for the remaining 100 metres towards the swim exit. If the water temperature is not greater than 24.5 degrees Celsius, wetsuits are optional. Please inquire at the information desk if you're unsure of the provisional water temperature. If a wetsuit is required to be worn, please see the Athlete Information Guide for details on wetsuits allowed. The event incorporates a beach start for all athletes, with pros and age group athletes heading off in wave starts. Athletes will be called into a swim pen according to the swim wave approximately 10 minutes before their wave start. There'll be a designated area located away from the swim start area where athletes will have the opportunity for a practice swim before they all start their wave. All athletes must enter the water via the designated swim pen and chute, as athletes will need to cross the timing mats to activate their timing chip. Please note, athletes' times will be adjusted to start when their wave starts, not when they cross the timing mat. Hence, it's imperative you start with the correct wave start to get an accurate finish time. An outline of the swim start will also be provided during the athlete briefing. If for any reason the swim needs to be cancelled after the swim start, you'll hear a continuous whistle sound. If this occurs, do not panic. Please take all directions from water safety personnel and make your way to the shore. If you decide to withdraw at any time after you've crossed the start mats, you must notify an event official so we can account for your safety. Swim safety is provided by Brighton Surf Lifesaving Club. If at any time you need assistance, raise one arm above your head. Please look after those around you and raise your arm if you see another athlete in distress. The time limit for the swim leg is 1 hour. Any athlete who's not completed the course by this cut-off time will not be able to continue. Any team cyclist remaining in transition will be sent out onto the bike course at this time, and the team will be classified as a did not finish or DNF. The 2-lap 90-kilometre bike course begins at the Eastern Beach Reserve and will head out on Ritchie Boulevard and then up into the scenic Eastern Park. From there, athletes will head out on Ryrie Street and Port Arlington Road to the turnaround at Point Henry before returning and continuing east on Port Arlington Road. Athletes do not head on to Point Henry for the return journey as they again head back via Eastern Park. The second lap turnaround point for 70.3 athletes is located on Ritchie Boulevard in front of the Club Tent Village, with all athletes finishing the bike course at the transition end of Ritchie Boulevard. There will be roaming bike mechanics on course, as well as a mechanic setup in transition for minor pre-race services. Mechanics will carry tools and spare tubes only. They will not have spare wheels available. Athletes must repair their own bike. Prompt service should not be expected, and athletes are advised to carry their own spares and be familiar with fixing or replacing tyres and tubes. For more information, please speak to the bike mechanic at transition on Saturday. SAG wagons will be roaming the course to collect any cyclists that cannot complete the event. Collected cyclists will be transported to the closest aid station or back to transition. Please be advised there may be delays in SAG wagon transport. It is advisable for athletes to commence walking back to their nearest aid station. Competitors have access to aid stations on the bike course at 29.7k, 52.4k and 74.7k. B1, Port Arlington Road, Hermsley Road, athletes visit this one twice. B2, Point Henry Road, Port Arlington Road. These aid stations will offer water, Endura electrolytes, Winners bars, Vaseline, which will be situated in the toilets, sunscreen, insect repellent and toilets. All athletes should slow down through this area. This is the sequence of the bike aid stations. Volunteers will endeavour to provide approximately 50 metres between tables and service areas. Slow down through bike aid station and maintain a straight line and consistent speed. Communicate loud and clearly. Volunteers are there to support you, not to serve you. Litter zone start and litter zone finish signs are provided to define the rubbish and bin and discard zone. Outside of this zone, athletes will be penalised. Roads cannot be reopened until the course is clear of all rubbish, so please help by sticking to the rules and discarding only within this area. Please be focused and considerate at all times through aid stations. The safety of yourself, other athletes and volunteers should be your priority. Our volunteers will do their best to deliver what you require, but it is your responsibility to slow down and ensure you have the correct nutrition. Bike course regulations apply to this section of the course. These are: always ride as far to the left as possible, always pass on the right, always move left after a pass, do not block other athletes' progress, do not ride side by side, never cross the centre line, do not litter, never ride with MP3 players, phones or cameras. This is a non-drafting event, meaning unless overtaking, 12 metres must be kept between yourself and the bike in front at all times. When passing, you must complete your pass within 25 seconds, be making forward progress at all times. A started pass must be completed. After being passed, drop back 12 metres, and you cannot pass until 12 metres back. If you do receive a penalty, the officials will show you a yellow or red card, tell you to stop at the next penalty box if applicable, note your athlete number and other information. There are 2 penalty boxes on course, located at Ritchie Boulevard inbound, Port Arlington Road inbound. The time limit for the bike leg is 4 hours 30 minutes from the start time. Any athlete who has not completed the course by 12 p.m. will not be able to continue. There will be intermediate cut-off points on the course. The run course is a 21.1 kilometre 2-lap course taking in the Geelong waterfront and Eastern Park areas east and west of the finish line. The run course provides plenty of opportunities to interact with spectators as you complete the laps of the course. As you exit transition, you'll head west towards Steampacket Gardens along Ritchie Boulevard and Eastern Beach Road. You'll pass the finish line on your right and continue along the road to the Glenleith Road roundabout turnaround point and return east towards Steampacket Gardens. At the Cunningham Pier, you'll turn around and head again west, this time on the footpath beside the road. The western turnaround on the footpath will take you down to the coastal path, where you'll head back east towards Steampacket Garden. You'll pass the finish line on the road again and continue east towards Eastern Beach. Passing transition, you'll pass through Eastern Beach, then onto the roads around Eastern Park. Herne Parade will continue east with a small loop at Lime Burners Boat Ramp. We're continuing along Lime Burners Road to the eastern turnaround point. Returning via Herne Parade, the course turns left into the Eastern Park car park, where you'll collect your lap band. Descending from the car park through Eastern Beach Reserve and again past transition towards Steampacket Gardens. After you've passed Steampacket Gardens, you'll again perform the 2 western loops out to the Glenleith Road intersection, returning on the second loop via the coastal path. At the Cunningham Pier, you'll be directed to continue straight into the finish line beside Steampacket Gardens. There are 5 aid stations on the run course located within 2 kilometres of each other. You'll pass each aid station multiple times. These aid stations will offer water, Endura Electrolyte, Degas Coca-Cola, Winners Gels, bananas, watermelons, toilets and discards. Red Bull will be served in diluted form at Run Aid Station 1 on Eastern Beach Road, opposite the Royal Geelong Yacht Club. This is the sequence of the Run Aid stations. Wherever possible, volunteers will provide a minimum of 10 metres between tables. However, due to the lay of the land, sometimes table layouts may vary across the course. The sequence of offerings, however, will remain the same. Please note there is at least 2 toilets at every aid station. Unfortunately, once again due to the lay of the land, toilets cannot be consistently placed at all aid stations. Please ask volunteers and follow signage if in need. Please endeavour to place rubbish in the bins provided. We want to return the city to the locals as we found it. It is with their blessing we're provided access to the course. And don't forget to thank the volunteers. Please be focused and considerate at all times through aid stations. The safety of yourself, other athletes and volunteers should be your priority. Our volunteers will do their best to deliver what you require, but remember, it is your responsibility to slow down and ensure you have the correct nutrition. Run course regulations apply to this section of the course. You must complete both laps. There will be timing checkpoints on course validating this. Absolutely no outside assistance. No iPods, thumps, headphones, cell phones or cameras. Keep your torso covered. You must have your run number visible on the front. No littering, and please use the toilets provided. If an athlete is shown a yellow card, they may be directed by the technical official to perform a stop-start penalty. 3 infringements equals disqualification. If you receive a red card from a technical official, you must report to the race referee once you've completed your race. The run course cut-off time is 7 hours 30 minutes from your wave start time. The race is conducted under the Triathlon Australia Race Competition Rules, RCRs, and a number of special Ironman rules. Please refer to the Athlete Information Guide on the event website for more information. An experienced medical team will be in place at the event with medical personnel positions at the swim start and exit, in transition, roaming on the cycle and run courses, as well as a full medical tent setup and team at the finish line. There will be ambulances strategically located within the venue and on course at all times. During the race, please ensure you look after yourself and your fellow athletes. If in doubt, ask for help from an event official or a volunteer on course. Please make sure you've provided the staff a check-in with your most up-to-date medical and emergency contact information. The medical team can assist with rehydration, warming or cooling and other basic care. Any athletes requiring further treatment will be transported to Geelong Hospital. If you find yourself in this situation, your gear will be cared for until you return. Please inquire at the information tent when you do return. To help out the medical team, please make sure you take appropriate care of yourself. If you have an acute illness, modify your expectations and allow for a bad day. Above all, don't change what you've been doing. Pre-race and public first aid is available at the information booth. Completing an Ironman is a special experience. Crossing the finish line is the pinnacle. Here's a hot tip. Make yourself photo ready. In accordance with Ironman rules, family or friends are not permitted in the finish chute. Please let your loved ones know of this rule, as you'll be disqualified if this rule is not adhered to. This rule is enforced to reduce the risk of an athlete unintentionally harming themselves, other athletes, or their loved ones. It's also important to respect other finishers and their experience. Ironman hopes everybody makes the most of their time in the spotlight. Once you cross the finish line, there will be finish line catchers to meet you and escort you through to the recovery area. You'll be presented with your finisher's medal and towel. Catchers will briefly assess you and take you to medical if required. The recovery aid station will offer food and drinks. There'll be massage therapists available as well. And your street gear bag and competitor shirt will be available for collection. You'll need to show your race number to collect your shirt. Event staff and volunteers are within the post-finish area. Please advise if you require assistance. Bikes will be available for collection from 12:30 p.m. or at the discretion of event personnel. Athlete wristbands must be shown to retrieve bikes from transition. Please do not attempt to remove your bike prior to this time. All bikes must be collected from transition by 5 p.m. on Sunday. All prizes will be presented in the briefing and presentation tent at the Steampacker Gardens for Ironman 70.3 Geelong. Presentations are on Sunday afternoon commencing at 3:30 p.m. The roll-down ceremony for the 2015 Ironman 70.3 World Championship, which is on Sunday the 30th of August in Zalem-Siegerprum, Salzburgerland, Austria, will take place immediately following the presentations at 4 p.m. There are 30 qualifying slots on offer and you must be present to claim your slot. Good luck on Sunday, and we look forward to celebrating with you on the finish line.